Welcome to this video lecture on caste in India, their mechanism, genesis and development. So caste in India, their mechanism, genesis and development. Actually it is a paper presented by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar in an anthropology seminar in the year 1960. For this paper, later he was awarded PhD on the same topic. And this paper, it also published in the Indian journal entitled Indian Antiquary, the year 1917. And maybe the government of Maharashtra, and it has included this this paper in the book entitled Collections of Ambedkar's Writing and Speeches. And this paper has been translated into many languages. So Ambedkar's view on caste. Actually Ambedkar, he identified caste as an important institution. He considers caste as a separate institutions and very important institutions. And he noted that the caste is actually is not a simple subject, it's a complex subject, and the subject needs a comprehensive explanations. We could not explain it in a simple way. And he contends that, okay, maybe in the seminar, in the paper, it starts like that only. In the introductions, and he stated that many Western thinkers and Indian scholars and many maybe the subtle minds, they have attempted to explore or unravel the subject caste, the mysteries of caste. But unfortunately, still now the subject remains in the domain of unexplained only, and it is not understood properly. So this is the view of Ambedkar. So he stated this maybe the subject in the beginning of the paper. So the problem of caste is actually very vast, and it has been challenged both theoretically and practically in this paper by Ambedkar. So genesis of the caste systems. The very first title talked about that genesis, maybe the origin of caste systems. So all people are ethnically heterogeneous only. According to Ambedkar, all the people are racially, they belong to heterogeneous unity only. So India, maybe beyond geographic unit, and it has a cultural unity also. Geographically India is the whole one. At the same time, the entire the long vast space of India, they also share some cultural unity also. Actually this cultural unity only makes the problem of the caste complex. So actually according to Ambedkar, caste is a parceling of an already homogeneous unit. Parceling here means dividing. Yes. So caste is actually is a dividing of an already homogeneous unit. So the genesis of the caste, it means that we have to learn the process of parceling. So many Western thinkers, and he quote in this paper, and the Western scholars, they try to define, they try to explore, identify the origin of the caste. But according to Ambedkar, Ambedkar did not endorse, maybe support most of the theories also. So in this paper, the theories of Senate, idea of pollutions, and Nesfield's absence of messing, and Kechter's point of view are all discussed. The first one is Senate, and his concept is the idea of pollutions. Emily Senate is actually a French scholar. Maybe the idea of pollution, the term it refers to the concept of purity and impurity in the Indian caste systems. Pollution means certain individuals or groups are considered as impure or unclean due to their occupation, birth, or some other factors. So he considers caste is a structure, and the structure has a hierarchical unity also. So in this structure, Brahmins, they occupy at the top of the ladder, and the untouchable, maybe the people they are known as Dalit, they are at the bottom based on the ritual purity only. So, occupational pollutions also, he pointed out that some occupations like cleaning the dead animals and doing cremation works and working in the sewages, all such occupations are considered as impure only. So social interactions between these castes are regulated to prevent pollutions only. So Senate brings the idea, maybe Senate this concept, it highlights that how the concept of pollution it is used to maintain social hierarchies. The next is Sridhar Venkatesh Tektas. He is an Indian scholar and prominent Indian scholar, and he wrote about the history of caste in India in the year 1990. And being a sociologist, he wrote about caste in India. And he proposed two ideas, that is prohibitions of intermarriage and memberships by a autogeny. Prohibition of intermarriage means the caste groups do not allow marriage outside their own group. And membership of autogeny means maybe a caste group is determined by birth only. So Ambedkar, he argues that these two are actually, they are not a separate entity, they are the two sides of the same coin. Actually they are both the same only. And prevention of intermarriage, automatically it may be the concept, it means that membership is limited to those born within the group only. So he Ambedkar, and he points out that so both are not two separate entity or two separate ideas, they are same only. The next one is Nesfield concept, absence of messing. So Nesfield is actually Nesfield is a British scholar, and he proposed the idea as absence of messing only. So he defines caste as a closed group. So caste is self-contained, maybe a self-contained unit, and inherently it restricts the interactions with those outside the group. So it restricts socializing or eating together. So Ambedkar concludes that it is the consequence of the closed group only. So this is not the characteristics of caste, or this is not the origin of the caste. So the absence of messing or preventing socializing, this is the outcome of the caste. So Ambedkar views on caste. So Ambedkar, and he concludes that endogamy is the essence of caste. Endogamy means it is layered on the top of exogamy only. So actually endogamy, this is very peculiar to caste, and this endogamy is practiced only in India than any other civilized country in that world. So actually in India itself also initially exogamy is practiced. So exogamy, initially the exogamy is practiced, and endogamy prohibits marriage. Endogamy means it prohibits marriage outside one's caste. Exogamy means it prohibits marriage within one's clan or kotra. So here in India, the superpositions of endogamy on exogamy is there. That is, endogamy is layered on the top of exogamy. Endogamy is the dominance that exogamy. Maybe endogamy is caste restriction, exogamy is clan restrictions. So according to Ambedkar, this concept, that is endogamy, so the superpositions of endogamy on exogamy, it creates a very strict systems of caste where marriage is restricted both within and outside one's caste and clan. So the combinations of endogamy and exogamy create the complex and rigid system of caste in India. Okay, the combination of both endogamy is also practiced in India and exogamy is also practiced, and this create a very complex systems, a complex society. So thus Ambedkar highlights how the overlap of endogamy and exogamy creates a unique system of caste in India, Indian society, and with strict rules, and maybe governing a marriage and social interactions. And he concludes that the endogamy is the reason. This is the essence of caste systems practiced in India. Thank you. Maybe close.